Along with the development of science and technology, people are facing many things that need explanations. Alien spacecraft are an example. Many people refused to believe in those spacecraft and said that it was just an illusion. This is an extreme and not correct. Their explanation was either trying to hide something or denying the truth. However, there still were people who tried to find out about those spacecraft, and they concluded they were UFOs, undefined flying objects, and the fact is they are alien spacecraft. When modern cameras or smartphones become more and more popular, the number of times people see UFOs is rising. Formerly, UFOs was told from one person to others, and people started to research it based on its radiation, magnetic fields, and the changes they made to the surroundings. Nowadays, there are many videos of UFOs, and you can verify if they're real or fake. Many videos proved the existence of UFOs. So when science advances, people are confused about things that science has not been able to explain yet. The surprising appearances of UFOs. Many polls showed that half of the respondents believed in UFOs. Many events that have happened in more than 100 years contributed to that belief. The strange object in California in the USA in 1896 and 1897. Although the term UFOs has become very popular around the world, few people know that the first appearance of UFOs was in the sky of California more than 100 years ago. At the time, people saw light rays that they didn't know where they came from moving slowly across the sky on May 10, 1896. Those who witnessed that rare event said that the strange light rays moved at a velocity of about 50 kilometers per hour. A week later, people also saw a similar thing in the sky of San Francisco and many places around the Pacific coast, causing the media to make a series of assumptions then. After being absent for a few months, that object appeared apparently in a cigar shape in the following year, the year of 1897, in the western U.S. Having been unable to find reasonable explanations for that phenomenon, people believe aliens did it. Until now, there are no acceptable answers for those exciting events. UFOs in Washington in 1952. In 1952, the media in Washington, D.C. extremely surprised when the monitoring stations at Reagan International Airport discovered many strange objects on the radar screen. They saw shining orbs on the horizon, forcing the Air Force to deploy fighters to identify those objects. Not just that time, this event also took place on successive weekends from July 13th to July 29th in that year. The case was so famous that the US president personally had to clarify the matter. However, thousands of reports of UFOs could not explain what happened in the sky of the US Capitol at the time, forcing the surveys had to stop in 1969. Until now, there are no reasonable explanations for the event that happened in July 1952. Also, there are no answers to the questions that alien life enthusiasts have raised. The U.S. government ultimately kept silent on what occurred in the sky of Washington, D.C. at the time. Phoenix Lights Event 1997. One of the world-famous UFO events was recognized on March 13, 1997, nearly 20 years ago, with the presence of so many people, including ones high up in the government. That was a huge pool of light in a triangular shape moving across the sky. Those who witnessed that event thought of a giant moving spacecraft. UFOs at the Yenisei River in 2005. Moscow newspaper Komsomolskaya Pravda called 2005 the year of UFOs in Russia, with 18 cases had been reported. According to those reports, UFOs appeared everywhere from suburbs of Moscow to the Far East, from the Arctic Ocean to the distant southern land. This May, I took visiting relatives out to see an ice drift on the Yenisei. Nurse Raisa Kireva from the town of Igarka, north of Russia, says. We stopped at the bank. We were talking and taking pictures. We neither heard nor saw anything suspicious unusual, so we were totally shocked to see some object hanging in the air over my head when we had the photographs printed. The woman took the picture and the negative to the Eternal Frost Museum. At first, the experts were skeptical about the photographs, but after an examination, they had to admit the strange object in the picture was neither a fake nor faulty film. We check all the negatives, the director of the Eternal Frost Museum's department in Igarka, Alexander Toshchev, said. But even when we magnified the image many times, the saucer remained very distinct.